ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks losing a game they should have won. They let this game get away from them, and it's going to be a long flight back to Dallas. I mean, this is one that's going to be hard to get over. They might have a sleepless night tonight. The Mavericks know they clearly should have won this game. How, important this game was. I felt this was pivotal for them to win. They needed game two. They got embarrassed in game one. They didn't play their best basketball in game one. They had to get a feel for Golden State, it seemed, in game one. You really didn't know how Golden State was going to play you, but you kind of knew how they would play you in game two. Luka came out of the gates early, swinging. He was on fire, set the tone for his team. And, it looked like when you saw the score at halftime, it looked as if the Mavericks were going to tie this series. It looked as if this series was going back to Dallas tied 1-1. And then the Warriors, in the second half, they made the adjustments. Shots started to fall. They weren't missing shots. Everyone caught fire. They started making their shots, hitting their strides. Just everything was going the Warriors' way, while the Dallas Mavericks suddenly collapsed, fell apart, couldn't catch their breaths, didn't have that same energy and that same firepower that they exhibited in the first half. Just a totally different ball team in the second half. And a game is not over at halftime. You got to play a full 48 minutes if you're going to beat the Warriors, especially against a team like the Warriors. The Warriors have all this offensive firepower. They have elite scorers. They have guys that can hurt you. They can score in a variety of ways. So a lead is never safe when you're playing against the Golden State Warriors. And we all saw that tonight. We saw the effort in the second half from the Golden State Warriors. And that was the difference. Now, Luka Doncic did his thing for the Golden State Warriors. Early on, you saw him spread the floor, and his teammates were hitting open shots. The skilled guard, Luka that is, penetrated to the basket, was more assertive tonight, got to the rack. He was able to create dribble penetration. He did his job for the most part, finishing the game with 42 points. He controlled the dribble. He was scoring points. He wasn't afraid to attack the basket. And the Warriors were down by as much as 19. The Warriors came roaring back from 19. And now they take a commanding 2-0 lead in this series, when this series could have easily been tied 1-1. The final score in this game was 126-117. And as great as Luka was for the Mavericks, Curry's 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, coupled with contributions from Jordan Poole, who has emerged as a third option. Then you had Calvin Looney coming on big, and then Klay Thompson, of course, who all combined for 59 points. Spectacular. They were phenomenal tonight. Those three combined for 59 points, 17 rebounds, and 12 assists. But Dallas, wasn't able to put them away at the end. this is a team that missed out on a golden opportunity. They coughed up a golden opportunity, and they had hope to get back on track. But, at least still one game in the Bay Area. They did bring a different level of energy for a chance to steal home court advantage. But this is where experience comes in, because the Warriors are a well-experienced team. They've been there. They've done that. They know what it takes to win games of this magnitude. Draymond Green is that defensive force. He can get in your face, make things difficult for you. He's that pesky defender. And Dallas, it was just a disastrous second half for them, particularly in the third quarter. And it was just too much to overcome once the Warriors mounted this comeback, and then all of a sudden the Warriors ran away with it. And now the series will shift back to Dallas. Game 3 is a must-win, but I think this series is over. I think it ends in 5. I think this was the game. This was the game that the Mavericks needed to win. And this game told me a lot about the Mavericks. What it told me about the Mavericks is that, yes, they are a good team. Yes, they have one of the top elite guards in the league. But this team cannot hang with the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors is an unfair match for the Dallas Mavericks. I think that much was on display tonight. This team will probably win at least one game in Dallas. They will definitely bounce back in Dallas and win at least one game. But they're not winning this series after tonight. And Luka's performance just goes to waste. This guy shot 12 for 23 from the field, including 5 for 10 from deep. And he was near perfect from the free throw line, shooting 13 for 15. But the Warriors, they dodged a major bullet with the Mavericks wasting a masterful performance from Luka, of course. Luka also had help from his friends. His supporting cast showed up tonight. Jalen Brunson looked like the Jalen Brunson that we saw in the first round against the Utah Jazz. He finished with 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, while shooting 11 for 19 from the field, including going 5 for 7 from deep. Reggie Bullock, the former Laker, who we all know here in Los Angeles, poured in 21 points on 6 for 10 from three-point range in a team high 44 minutes of play. And there was some bickering going back and forth, some chirping between him and Draymond Green. Things got a little chippy on the court tonight. You can expect that in a series like this because the emotions are running high. And there's going to be moments where tempers flare, particularly in games like this. But it clearly was a game that the Mavericks should have won. And now I'm pretty sure that everyone in that locker room tonight is beating themselves up after this heartbreaking loss. The Warriors were able to turn it on. You can never count out the Warriors. You got to play them a full 48 minutes. You got to really bring your game each night. And Dallas, man, they just gave this game away. You're not going to win a game again at halftime. And here's another thing that the Warriors did so well. They scored 62 points in the paint. They made a run, and the Mavericks couldn't stop the bleeding. They had no answer for it. And you have to defend. You have to defend a team as good as the Golden State Warriors. And unfortunately, the Dallas Mavericks couldn't defend them too well, particularly in the second half and late down the stretch. So the Warriors come away with a win. Now Dallas has their backs against the wall. And now they have to hope and pray that they can come out on top in Game 3, which will be played in Dallas. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share. I'll talk to you guys most likely tomorrow. Sports Judge is checking out. Good night.